Welcome to BamBam.
Welcome to the BamBam-O-Rama podcast, where we put gum in each other's beards. I'm Jackson Grist.
I'm Adrian Estrada. Have you seen your local musicians today?
Have you?
We did on Saturday.
On Saturday. A lot of them. I think we had 7 acts total, and it was a lot of fun. I think BamBam-O-Rama, the music festival, was a success.
I would agree, yeah.
Especially for a first year. Now, I want to say this first and foremost. We don't know if there's going to be a year 2 right now.
Right.
But I think we'll talk a little bit about this year. And I want to ask y'all, the viewers and the listeners, let us know if we do BamBam-O-Rama, the music festival year 2. What would you like to see? We tried to make it family friendly by adding a arcade truck. To be honest, I don't think I saw anyone use it.
No, not at all.
So, I mean, I'm not mad or upset, but that was definitely something we didn't need to bring along. So that's why I want to know. What do y'all think? Should we bring an axe throwing trailer? What kind of things would you like to see at a music festival? I know music festivals are generally just about music, but when you go to music festivals, there's not only music, not only merch tents, not only people just selling random stuff.
And all of our random vendors would definitely be persuaded next year.
Absolutely.
Because we have numbers to talk to. This year, people looked at us kind of like, side eye.
Yeah.
Some of them couldn't come.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah. I think the vendors thing alone will boost it.
I think the vendor thing's going to work out definitely next year. You're right.
Well, because we can fit at least 5.
We got to put, depending on the size of their booths, along the side there in the little fenced-in area.
And then next to the bar.
Yeah, next to the bar. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we could have fit somewhere between 5 to 7, honestly, depending on sizes of booths.
I'm just thinking like a standard tent, 12-foot tent type thing, 14-foot tent.
Yeah, like the little...
like what we've got, the canopy.
Yeah, the canopy. And I think you're right. Yeah, I think at least 5 of those would fit there. And if people wanted to be smaller, that's why I said 5 to 7. Because there's some people I feel like might be like, here's my table, and I'm good to go.
Let's just think of our friend, the happy hippie, who's got a tent, and he's selling a bunch of, stuff under that one canopy spot and fills it up.
No, that's true. That's true.
But there are some that might be able to squeeze in there. We might be able to do like because we've got that canopy, we might be able to do like here's a little half vendor spot.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to share with someone.
I think we could do something like that. Like I said, I think there are people out there who might have a small thing that they could sell for that. And I'm trying to also think about, because I know we go to not VidCon.
Yeah.
We go to VidCon.
Yeah.
But we've gone to 2 Comic Cons this year, which is where I mostly see vendors. And I've seen some pretty small booths at the Comic Cons. Granted, most of them are huge and bigger than what we're considering right now.
Yeah, even 3 times the size.
But I've seen some that were tiny. What kind of vendors would y'all like to see? What kind of vendor would you like to see?
Probably like a really hot chick.
A really hot chick?
That is somewhere within an age range, like probably like 30 plus.
30 plus?
And she's into, bald bearded guys that are short, fat.
So you're trying to get me laid or what?
No.
No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know we're both balded and bearded.
I think one thing I would change personally is we'd definitely make a banner. We had plenty of time. We should have done it. That same banner could be used for other things.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be huge, but
like a BamBam-O-Rama banner. I think you're right. Definitely something for that. And I mean, it could be any live thing that we ever do
with a QR code on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a really smart thing to do.
So that would have been something. Bringing all of the things I usually bring that I always think I'm over prepared for this,
right?
And then we could have used a lot of that stuff.
We were arguably underprepared.
Yeah.
Hell, I didn't even bring part of my keyboard.
Yeah.
Thanks for holding my lyrics for me, by the way.
Forgot about that until you said that. Yeah, just the show must go on, and part of that that I think people don't realize means that it must go on.
That's a lot of the things. Yeah.
Take your pride, take
Mhm.
all of your fucking whatever you think you've got, and you pick up that fucking paper and you hold it for him to sing.
Right.
I mean, that's it, right?
Yeah. You're right.
The
I
show
do.
must go on.
I do. I think BamBamORama the music festival year 1
Success.
success. I don't think there. I mean, I think so.
The figures go out to over 120 people.
Yeah.
We don't have a solid count because some of that has to deal with like the band members themselves,
Mm-hmm.
whom thankfully, and thank you all, they mostly stuck around the whole night.
Dude,
if
that
not a super huge chunk of the night each,
that was awesome.
It was really nice to have everybody hang out for a while. We know it was pretty warm. That's another thing I would change, is making sure those fans work next year.
I would.
And then of course, free water maybe.
I made a comment about that, and I do think, we could reach out to companies to donate water, hopefully. I mean, I know we talk about them a lot on this podcast, but Mythicon, they had free liquid death. I don't know if we could pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, man, what you
Yeah.
ask for and what you get. And part of that is, people are scared to ask.
That's true. I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? We email liquid death and they don't answer the email.
Right.
Which honestly, I think is the absolute worst thing. I would rather them send me an email full of hateful comments than to ignore it.
Unfortunately, that's where you got to get the thick skin.
Yes.
Through sales, I developed a lot of that.
Absolutely.
Thicker skin for the no, and for the I don't really like. I'll go up there and hold lyrics, and
Yeah.
and fuck up a bass line and not go. Go look at the drummer because he looks at me and we're both like, you too, and we had a little bit of moment. Maybe he was even throwing it to save me some face. I don't know, but either way, the point was that we just kept going, and then you finish those last two songs strong. It's a good send off, and then it's also you get they weren't there, but when people talk about it, if those 14-year-olds who might nervously think about something later. It's a story someone might be able to share with them, and they're like, oh yeah. Even the guys that were hiring us, quote unquote, that day, had a little moment of, uh-oh.
We got hired?
I'm talking about the kids' perspective.
Oh, the kids. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then another food truck. That place seemed great. I didn't eat there.
It was good.
Mostly because it was hot.
I wanted.
And here was the thing, real quick. The number one comment was, this is good. It's hot. And people were sitting there waiting on, a hotter day to let this food cool down, which is going to take longer because it's a hotter day. So that was the only thing I would say.
Yeah.
A second food truck.
Yeah, my birria tacos were delicious, but I think I bit into it and I was like, I have to wait 5 minutes. Like, which was fine. They were worth the wait for that 5 minutes, but I had to. I agree, though. I think always, especially Americans, and this isn't a dig at Americans, unlike normal, we like variety. So I think you could honestly, I'm not saying we would do this, but you could honestly have 2 food trucks serving the exact same menu, and it would please the masses in a way. You know what I mean? And there's people like me and you that would be like, they serve the same things. It doesn't matter.
At VidCon 2023, there were 3 different truck duplicates.
Oh,
meaning
absolutely.
There were 6 trucks. And there was a pair of Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pair of some sort of Indo-Asian fusion something.
Yeah, there was that Asian fusion place, and then, the fusions were the same. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the menus were not the same, but close enough where it was
similar.
like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't say this one's better than the other without trying them, but it's also it dissuades you.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I think I didn't complain about it. I know there's probably some people who would, but I think, you just give people the illusion of variety.
Yeah.
And they're happy.
Yeah, I mean, other people were lined up left and right.
Oh, yeah.
But what I was going to say is 2 food trucks and then 1 sweets truck.
Oh, yeah, sweets truck.
That's what we
nice.
should have done. So an
Right.
ice cream person would have been cool, even if it's literally a truck that
Yeah.
comes over there,
Yeah.
that does the bars. That would have been a good solution for a West Texas thing
Really hot day.
and a hot day.
Honestly, it wasn't the worst of the hot days. I know there was about 2 hours where I was getting worried.
That it was gonna rain.
Oh no, not it. That
That it was gonna be too hot.
that it was gonna get too hot. I was like, oh no. I was like, if it goes up another 2 degrees, then people are gonna start going.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might have, but I mean, it didn't, and that was great. And then you're right. Then the clouds came in, and I was like,
Yeah.
but honestly, I kind of was like, I don't know. I've never been to a festival that didn't have at least one spurt of rain. I don't think. I go to ACL a lot. Have there been dry ACLs? Have I been to them? And when I say dry, I don't mean alcohol. I mean, we know there's alcohol there. I think every festival I've been to, I've gotten rained on. I believe. But if you've been to an ACL, because that's usually the one I go to, and there wasn't rain, then you're probably right, and I was probably there, and remind me. Because I don't remember.
This last one, the only one I've been to, but this last one that you went to, because you took me to that last one, was muddy as.
It was muddy. I think, you know what? I don't think it rained that weekend, but it was weekend 2. I think it rained
the weekend before.
the weekend before. I think that's what
But
happened.
still counts. For the
Yeah,
overall thought process.
for sure.
But going back to our festival, because we don't want to plug everyone else's.
Right. ACL doesn't need our help.
So yeah, going back to what we could improve on, fans would have been it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The extra food trucks. I don't know about bringing back the arcade truck. I don't know about bringing necessarily an axe throwing truck either.
I will say this. As far as that stuff goes, I'm willing to bring it back if people ask for it and say they want it and say they'll use it. Right now, I'm not planning on arcade truck again, for sure.
Well, did you go in it?
I didn't either.
I failed to go in it as well. I should have, because an idea I'm having,
Yeah.
is we should have done a contest of some sort.
We could have done a contest.
Anything. We could have done a "Have you been here all day?" contest, and then raffled it after that. We could have done a video game contest since we had a freaking truck that could have started in the morning, and then we knew we had a gap to this one next year. Plan better, or next 2 months. Who knows when the next something will happen?
Right.
But the next potential thing we do, that's something we can do with it, and or even a competition for open mic. Anybody here think they've got what it takes, and then bring a guitar that's maybe not as expensive, or I don't know.
That'd be kind of cool. We could definitely have an open mic portion of BamBam-O-Rama the Music Festival, or even just an open mic night in general. Have some kind of contest on it. I like open mics. I'm not even gonna lie. I really love them.
And then lastly, we're gonna have to make the filming happen.
But I hate to say, I think we got to.
Yeah.
Because it would have been nice if one of us if we could have at least filmed for 5 minutes of each band set, at least.
I'm even thinking we can do it where it's live, and yeah, it might be behind a paywall.
I would put it behind a paywall.
I don't know which person or group to use as an example, but for lack of better, we'll just start with Mia. Let's say Mia has a friend in I don't know, Austin.
Sure.
That wanted to have come, but couldn't have. That person would then have had an opportunity for a much smaller price.
Yeah.
To watch it on the stream, and it's something that we can work out by then.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I mean, $10 was not enough. Next year we're going to $100 a ticket.
It really was. I mean, even though there wasn't a lot, $10 is not bad to go watch music at any point in the day.
No, I agree. Honestly, I wish we lived in a world where I could say that for the rest of this music festival's existence, and that it could be a $10 ticket, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the economy is going to look like next year. I don't know what we're going to have available at this festival next year. I don't know if we're doing the festival next year. But
So with that being said, let's just try to figure one out sooner than that, so that we can say the next one will be $10.
It'd be cool.
But let's not commit to it right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm willing to say that year 2 can be $10 again. Year 3 might come with some extra changes.
Sure.
So Friday's my birthday.
Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to Disney World.
Yeah.
For like the 5th time.
Nice. But you're taking your son with you.
I'm taking my son with me.
By yourself.
I am. By myself. I'm gonna be gone. We're going to Legoland and Disney World, and it's just me and him. And this trip is 8 days long. I'm not gonna lie. I'm dreading the last 3 days already. I mean, not that day one's gonna be easy either, but
what's the first trickle or little inkling of on the third start of those 3 days, like the first of those 3 days, rather? Why do you say those 3 days? Computer?
I feel like, yeah, he might be wanting his computer. I think he's gonna be tired of walking a lot too, which I'm trying to, like last time we did the Disney World Universal thing, it was theme park days all the way through. We have a long trip. We're chilling at the hotel day right in the middle. So
the pool or
pool, well, the Disney World hotels,
you're at the Disney hotel.
Yeah, at a Disney hotel. So I mean, yeah, there's pool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
It's its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like going to a
Vegas.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you literally don't have to leave the place to be entertained all day. So, there's that. So, yeah, in the middle of the week we have that to lean on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's first going to want his computer. I think second, he's going to be tired of walking. I know he's going to get tired of walking real quick. I think I'm taking the stroller. I haven't decided. He's almost too big for that stroller. But I think I'm going to have to. I don't think there's any way to get away around it.
Piggyback rides.
But specifically on my birthday, I'm going to Epcot, which is my favorite.
Yeah, so is that all you're doing for yourself on your birthday?
I think I've been trying to decide because there's a lot of really fun places to eat, but every time someone says they're going to Disney World and they say something about Epcot, I'm always like, you have to eat at the Canadian restaurant, the Canadian sit-down restaurant. I think that's one of the best restaurants there. And it's been almost 10 years since I've eaten at that restaurant, so I'm going to make sure we eat there this time. That's honestly all I really have planned for myself. We're going to Epcot, my favorite place. We're going to eat at my favorite restaurant on my birthday.
Nice. You're not going to buy yourself anything? A lightsaber?
Last time we went, I did the build your lightsaber thing. That was a lot of fun. I might go get another lightsaber. It depends on who they have, because they change who they have in the shop at Galaxy's Edge. And I can't remember the name of the actual shop. They make it sound like it's a place,
type thing.
Yeah. So
Star Wars thing.
But yeah, they change it a lot. If they have Darth Vader, then yes, I've been waiting for them to get Darth Vader's lightsaber for a long time. I think they may have even had it last time I was there. I was just doing the build your own and didn't want to. I 1 year I came back with 2 sabers, maybe 3. That was really a hard trip back. So I was like, I'm only buying 1. Last time I went.
So ridiculous.
I know. No, the best thing
decide.
The best thing was, so the first year when they had the Galaxy's Edge open, yeah, I think I got, no, it was 2 sabers, but arguably 3. I got Ahsoka's, which is her set is 2 sabers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got the dark saber.
I see.
And so yeah, I had 3 to come back with. But going through the airport security, they had to look at my stuff because the dark saber is shaped like a blade as opposed to the way the rest of the lightsabers are. They're just kind of cylinders. The dark saber actually has a angle to it shaped like a blade. And so they were like, "Sir, come here. We're going to look at your stuff." And I was like, "It's just a toy." I mean, I guess it's kind of a cosplay toy. It's a really expensive toy.
You can still hurt somebody with it.
Yeah. I mean, good if you wanted to be an asshole. It was funny. Because I knew exactly what it was. I was like, I already know. They want to look at this thing. And then
what if they were just like, I think that's the dark saber.
I think that's the dark saber.
Make him come over here.
Make him come over. He doesn't look like he could rule Mandalore. One thing I am excited about, because I don't remember if I've talked about this before. I know I've talked to you about it, just haven't talked to them about it. Legoland, I'm really excited about. That's one of the things Oliver wants to do on this trip. And I will admit, I went to Legoland over 10 years ago. I don't remember how long ago. By myself. And it is not a theme park built for people of all ages. At the time, if you were over the age of 8, there wasn't much at that place for you. I walked around it for like 2 hours, and I was like, I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
This is not... And there's even certain locations, and I don't know, maybe the person at the register just wasn't paying attention when I went in. There's stories of locations where people weren't allowed to go into Legoland without a child. However, I walked in there without a child at the time. So I don't know. But I'm super excited to get to take my son to it.
Yeah.
I think having him there is going to change the experience. I also know they've added some things. Like there's some older rides now. So I might get to enjoy something.
You mean rides for older people?
Rides for older people. As I think Lego realizes that
It's got to be entertaining for everyone.
it's got to be entertaining for everyone. And there's
not a bunch of 8-year-olds running around there by themselves.
Right. And there's also 40-year-old men who just love Legos. So
lay off, okay?
Right.
He's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. You need 3 lightsabers, not me.
But yeah, so I'm excited to take him to that.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think last time we went, I talked up Rise Against the Resistance, which we did not get to go on because it always has the longest line. It was like 2 hours. So I'm gonna try to make sure we get time to go on the Rise of the Resistance ride too. Because Oliver, like when we had to leave Hollywood Studios, which is the park where Galaxy's Edge is, he was like, Dad, we missed a Star Wars ride.
Yeah.
He was like, we missed your favorite ride. And I was like, yeah, I know. But I was like, there's no way that we were going to stand in that line for 2 hours because we didn't get there early enough to get in that line. That's my goal this time. I will say this, Rise of the Resistance, it is an experience. It's not just like getting on a roller coaster. It is like you get to step into the Star Wars universe for about 10 minutes. It's a pretty good length of ride. So if you can handle it, I do think it's actually worth the 2-hour wait. Yeah, most of them, you're right. You're like, I waited an hour so that I could get on this thing for 30 seconds, and it's done.
Happens. Let us know what you guys think is the best ride for Jackson to have attended,
Yes.
So that next time he goes next year, he will maybe check it out.
Absolutely. But for my birthday, like and comment and subscribe.
Right, and please share with a friend. Anybody that attended the BamBam-O-Rama Music Festival, we are deeply, deeply appreciative. You were all pretty open about telling us how much you liked it, so thank you so much.
Absolutely, and keep that openness, and tell us what you think about
how to make the next one better.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. And do that right here in the comments because that's the best way for us to see it. Also, if you feel like if you're kind of nervous about putting something like, hey, I would like to see this at a music festival or a Fallout Shelter fair, and you're a little nervous about it, first of all, don't be. But you can always slide into our DMs on Instagram.
We thank you again. We'll see you guys soon. We know you guys will be clicking subscribe soon.
Absolutely.
We love you all.
Love you.